Welcome to another episode of the Brothers Watch. We have to jump on here immediately and talk about Marvel Chairgate announcement. What the hell did we just watch for 5 hours plus? Marvel decided that there was going to be a surprise announcement today. Some of us heard about it a couple days ago, and we were waiting, and all of a sudden we started getting a live YouTube video put up by Marvel, and everybody went nuts, including myself.
Millions of people
Watched. And all of a sudden, we got a slow roll of director chairs with actors' names on them.
Slow roll is an understatement.
So, as you've probably seen, it's everywhere right now. It's going crazy. They were listing the Doomsday cast. It would just stay on the director's chair and for 15 minutes or so, and it would move to the next one. It was 5 hours and 27 minutes. I thought there was going to be something crazy, but...
I thought there were going to be like 8 chairs. So, in my infinite wisdom... I bet Joe that after like 5 chairs, because they all went alphabetically by the last name. I was like, okay, they're gonna do some huge reveal.
I didn't even notice that.
Like Keanu Reeves. After like the 5th chair, I was like, all right, I'll bet you a shot.
Is it by first or last name?
Last name.
Well, Anthony Mackie was the 3rd chair.
Yeah, and it went well after that until they got to Paul Rudd. That's where, and then I didn't realize they were gonna do like 30 total names.
27.
So I bet my dumbass bet a shot that they would all go in alphabetical order by the last name. And I was thinking like there was going to be some crazy, huge announcement that Keanu Reeves was going to be joining the MCU.
I was expecting something insane.
And then it just got completely
Or you hit it with a Wesley Snipes in there, that'd have been
That's
sad.
very similar to the
So-
Titanic movie and how they sunk the ship years before.
Yeah.
Then they released the movie. Very smart on their part.
So
I'm behind
Not
Marvel on
similar
this.
at all.
The big thing is that everybody's pretty mad because they literally watched it, or streamers especially, people who were live streaming.
Bro, I just did the math.
5 hours
I just
and
did the
27
math.
minutes.
It's just over 12 minutes a chair.
Okay, if you want attention, you got
They
attention.
got it.
You
Millions
got
and millions of views on that live stream.
So congrats on that, but a lot of people have a negative viewpoint on it. Would you rather have the negative viewpoint and then a ton of attention like this? Because
I would have
everybody's
rather
talking.
media is
driven
good
to
media.
Tampa in 1 hour back.
Yeah, I was
watch that video.
It's actually like when I think about the amount of stranglehold that Marvel has on its fans and how much crap they just keep putting out.
Joe hasn't
it is
breathed since then.
crazy.
Yeah, it's been.
It's actually kind of impressive because
is
I
impressive.
thought, especially with Daredevil, I guess viewership, I thought they'd be at an all-time low. But to hear that 5 million people were watching to look at chairs,
Yeah.
The
that's
funny
kind
thing,
of impressive.
The cojones to put it out.
And
though.
that's what I
It'd
say.
be like
That's what
they're
I-
gonna watch it, just
Yeah.
like David Stern putting the Bulls in the championship.
'Cause
It's just like they're gonna.
there's a
watch
Kevin
this.
Spacey
Yeah,
joke in there somewhere.
I legitimately think that they would have had just as much hype if they made it a 15-minute video. If they just like scroll through it or less.
So
I don't know.
when you guys were talking about it, I went on the live stream for 2 seconds. It was on one chair and I watched for maybe 5 total minutes. And I was like, this hasn't moved. So I waited till it was over. Then they released a 1 and 30-second clip of just
Everything,
a
yeah.
pan of it
Yeah,
all. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, that's all I needed.
So, okay, let's talk about this, though. What do you think is the most surprising name on there? Because there are some awesome names, to be honest with you.
I think
There's nothing
original.
surprising when it's all actors who have already
Yeah.
appeared
Okay.
in your movie.
But,
But-
I think original Magneto and original Professor X.
I was about to say everything X-Men from the...
Yeah.
All the X-Men. And so the cool thing is recently, I have to say this before we get into that, is that RDJ commented on the Instagram post saying that it was a crazy lineup or row of people, and Marvel commented underneath and said there's always room for more, which we heard there were going to be 50. And we only got 27. Hugh Jackman's obviously going to be in this
Gotta
movie.
be in it.
So you can imagine there's going to be some huge names in this.
maybe Halle Berry.
Maybe Halle
Where's
Berry.
Ben?
Looking
Shout
at you,
out Ben. I was hoping for Tobey Maguire. I was hoping for
he'll be
Toby
in it.
Spidey.
You can't not have him in it.
We were all looking for Elizabeth Olsen. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
true, too.
Absolutely. Which I'm sure she's going to be in it, regardless of what she's saying to the news outlets.
Is Chris Evans going to be in it?
I think he will be. I think you're going to get all of
if
them.
one of the twins is going to be in it, they got to have Stamos.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
You got to bring the full
Except
house
for
to
Elizabeth
it.
Olsen
You got
isn't one
to.
of the
You
twins.
got to.
So
I
that's
don't
the only
understand
thing
any
about
of
it.
Some CGI work could be done.
I don't know if they
It'll
can make
be
it
exciting
happen.
to see
Yeah.
the original X-Men though, like Nightcrawler.
Ooh, yeah, we're getting X-Men.
Beast, Cyclops.
So
That'll be fun.
they're going full on with it. Honestly, I could have gone with a quick announcement, show it to me. It still would have broken the internet because you're showing us the X-Men, and the X-Men are dope. We're gonna get Wolverine. We're gonna get Cyclops. Hopefully Storm.
Gambit.
Oh yeah, we got Channing Tatum Gambit.
Yeah, but they're mixing the new X-Men with the old. So
But
do we
Is
think it's going to
X-Men
be
also owned by Sony with Spider-Man, or is that a separate
No,
thing?
I think it's a separate. So they were absorbed by Marvel when 20th Century Fox was acquired by Disney. So
Yeah.
Sony is strictly like Spider-Man. It was a negative on the viewers, but a positive that Marvel has maintained that many fans.
I'm
People
totally
are going to
agreeing.
talk about it.
They could have done
Yeah.
some really cool things with just not Ant-Man.
I know.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
I know. And then, of course, RDJ is at the end in his
Which was
chair,
cool.
and that's cool.
When I saw that live, I was actually pretty
So,
pumped.
they
But
should
then,
have put a
then
walker
after
in
he
his
walked
seat.
away, I was like,
Oh, that's it?
yeah, I feel like I kind of got taken a little bit.
Yeah.
The frustrating thing about Marvel is that you legitimately can make a 5 hour and 27-minute video about like the chairs with the names on it, and you see RDJ at the end of it, and everybody's still pumped about it.
Yeah.
It could have
Even-
been Thanos flicking spoons off his thighs.
Everybody,
People to watch.
literally everybody wants, like, we just want a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, and they're making it way too difficult. So we'll see what they do. I'm pumped to hear
Sure,
what the next news is.
more people watch that than they watch Snow White. Yeah.
How can you make a good movie when you feel like you have to please every single person?
But see, that's the
that's
thing.
fair. That's
They
super
don't have
fair.
to please, obviously, because of the trailer. Whatever they release, people will watch.
Regardless, I'm excited to see where it goes. I have no idea. It made me a little bit more nervous for Doomsday when I thought it was going to be a home run because they still couldn't read the room,
Yeah,
and
I
they
mean,
did a 5 hour.
yeah.
we pretty much learned absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and maybe we got our hopes up because of the rumor that it was going to be bigger than RDJ, Doctor Doom. I'm still excited knowing the X-Men's going to be in
I
it.
don't think it's bigger than that.
No.
but-
Did they explain why they showed all the names? Are those people actually going to be
Yeah.
in the show, or is it
Maybe
just
they're
like,
producing.
hey,
Yeah, maybe.
we won the championship last year. We're giving everyone rings when we go to their team.
No. They
And,
said they announced that it was the cast for Doomsday, and they're starting production. So it's a pretty cool. It's good. Look,
It just means nothing to me because they could get dusted in like 5 seconds. Like everybody was clamoring for John Krasinski to play Reed Richards, and then they put him on the screen for Multiverse of Madness, and he was the worst character in any Marvel
Well, see,
property I've ever seen.
That's where I'm getting at. Who's to say it's not Jeff Teague with a ring type of deal? It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
exactly,
you won the
yeah.
championship. I'll give it to you. You cold,
Okay.
as he would say.
before we exit, before we wrap this up, I just want to go scale of 1 to 10. 10 is the highest hype level for Doomsday coming
man.
in.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hype level for Doomsday. Scale of 1 to 10. Cove.
I'd say a 4.7 if I'm being realistic.
4.7. I'm a 9.8.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm like a 10, dude. I don't care. Like,
A 10.
I don't have a lot of high hopes, and I am
Well,
ready
then how
to be.
is that a 9?
No, it's
man-
not hype
this-
level.
And I'm ready to be let down.
He said a 10.
But like, that is the only movie that's like, I'm so stoked. Because,
Okay.
dude, even if every single one of those actors sucks, seeing them all on the screen together, all those characters together from, bro, the first X-Men, I was like a baby watching that.
So
And
good.
Seeing all them together with like the new guys, I'm just stoked. And it can suck. And then I'll say, hey, I regret being hyped.
And that's
but
fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
That's what Marvel does good at.
I would say like 5.7.
Yeah, it's-
okay.
I
Yeah,
honestly, if you hadn't gotten me into the Secret Wars run with Jonathan Hickman, I probably would be higher. But just, I have no faith in Marvel right now.
You
I have
shouldn't.
no faith in pretty
it
much
makes
anything
sense.
Disney is doing. So,
I'm going to lean on
We
the side
haven't-
of optimism and excitement.
You should.
and that's fair.
And,
that's fair.
and we'll see what happens.
We just haven't seen anything last this long and keep going at such a pace that they've held.
That's a great
Such
point.
a-
Yeah.
So
such
We've
great
had a
point.
good run.
Even if they are the 9.8 that you're saying or whatnot, they're still going to be held to the Marvel standard, which
Yeah.
might be lower.
And dude,
Yeah.
chasing Endgame is an endless chase.
it really
Yeah.
is. Like, how can you top
back.
that?
You're never
I
going
am
to beat a
Iron
grown
Man.
man crying about Iron Man. There's
can't.
just no,
You
there's
can't.
nothing. There's
Especially when
nothing.
you have him come back as the main villain, and
Yeah.
he doesn't fit the character all that well, in my opinion.
Well, it fits the lore, right? You were saying
There's,
I don't think
there's,
so.
there's
I
different
don't- I don't.
there's different comic runs where it does, but it doesn't
I'm a big
necessarily
Doctor
do it
Doom
for
fan.
everybody.
I'm a big Doctor Doom fan.
Yeah.
I don't see in any. RDJ
DC's
is a
better.
great actor.
I said it.
What do you say?
He said DC's
DC is
better.
better. That's fair too. To have
That's
like,
not fair.
No, it's fair to think that. I mean, like
In
I
the
didn't grow
comic
up-
universe,
I heard-
in the movies, I'll give it to
I heard
Marvel
you're a big
100%.
I heard you're a big like Lobos fan, right?
Oh yeah, big Lobos
Yeah, so
fan.
like you gotta have like grown up reading the comics and everything. I never had that with DC, so like I was all Marvel, like Spider-Man, and pretty much exclusively Spider-Man and Doctor Doom.
the problem with DC is they chase the coattails of Marvel.
Exactly,
and you're dealing
yeah.
with two different things.
Leave your opinion down below. Let us know what your hype level is, and let us know if you believe that it's going to be a good movie down below. Like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the support, and we will see you next episode.